We have Mr. Greg Pilley here this evening. Greg's background is in ecology and applying ecological principles to agriculture. Greg worked with the Soil Association for 5 years, principally as a project coordinator. Greg also went on to establish Action Organic, a new project supporting the development of a network of local organic groups. He's an active member of Stroud Community Agriculture Limited, a community cooperative which runs its own farm business. Apart from all of that, he runs his own business, Stroud Brewery.
Essentially a generic term that encompasses a whole range of enterprises, and this is sort of the purest definition, where communities are sharing the responsibility and rewards of farming. If we were to look at a vegetable box scheme, and many of you might already be signed up to a vegetable box scheme, and there's lots of different ways that you can be a customer of a vegetable box scheme. For example, you might be a member of that box scheme because you simply like your vegetables conveniently delivered to your door and they're organic and you know how they're produced. Somebody else might be a member of that box scheme because they like organic fresh veg delivered to their door, but they also want to know who grew it, how they grew it, maybe visit that farm and have a connection with those people that grew it and support them in that enterprise, sort of knowing the difficulties that small growers face. And that's two quite different motivations. This is the enterprise that I was and still am involved with as a member, but I started out as one of the sort of steering committee members of this group. We started quite small. The story goes, a farmer who was struggling, but what the community did decide to do was, rather than supporting a farm, they would take on their own community enterprise. And they rented the walled garden, helping get going part-time to start growing some vegetables. So some of the sort of leading people in that group decided to put a bit of money, I think it was £10 a month at that time, for no return for the first 3 months so that they could actually put some seeds in the ground and start growing vegetables. At the beginning of the sort of harvest time, and a few vegetables come out, then they invited a wider group to subscribe to it. And the deal was membership for £24 a year. There was even a sort of bursary scheme or a sort of a reduced rate for people on low income of £12 a year. And then on top of that, you paid £30 a month for a share of vegetables. And it's gone on like that for the last 5 years. The way the scheme works is that the vegetables are harvested in bulk, members go up to the farm and weigh their vegetables out according to a list that's put up on the board. So there's a lot of time cut out not having to distribute. Members actually go up to the farm, meet each other. So we can see that there's a whole range of models. It's usually about the process, it's about communities getting engaged with it. In terms of farming, it's not going to make huge amounts of money. Now, there is opportunity for investment. This room today just shows that it's really fitting in with sort of current, not just political policy, but sort of will of people today. We'll see that we do need to make changes. And we'll see that these are the 4 things that we really need to bring together here to make Farnham Local Food Initiative work. You need capable producers, the skills needed to produce a mix of vegetables, for example, through the year, are quite difficult to come by, and that is one of the sort of hurdles. You need people to pull it along that will maintain that enthusiasm and keep it going. In Stroud, in the initial days, we were meeting probably once every fortnight at the very start, and then certainly they continue to have monthly meetings and have monthly meetings for the last 5-6 years. And you need consumers who can understand benefits and commit to that. And the other final difficulty is actually finding land to farm. These sort of enterprises, truly community-owned farming enterprises, are still very rare. There's probably about 10 across the UK. The sort of exciting thing that's happening at the moment is that the lottery has now set up a new grant to enable community-led local food enterprises. And that's a sum of £50 million over the next 5 years. And alongside that, there's another fund of about £50 million to enable community access to green space. So those two funds together will, I think, help us see quite a large change in terms of local food infrastructure.